Hey everybody, this is Teyanna Stone with another episode of Tea with Tea. Yeah, it's been a minute. Decided to take a little break. Just wanted to just chill for a second. Also, uh, you know, just enjoy the summer as much as I can, considering the circumstances. But I wanted to come back to basically, I guess, just give I guess you can call it a recap on various things that are going on in our country, in our world, because a lot has happened since I last talked to you guys in terms of COVID-19 and our education system and the effects of going through COVID, besides passing away and all that stuff. As you guys know, stuff isn't getting better, unfortunately. And when I film this, it's in the middle of July, but we are extremely close to, what is supposed to be the beginning of the school year. For me personally, you guys know I go to Temple. My last year, I'm like excited while also a little bit nervous about how my last year is gonna go. But we'll see. I'll tell you guys how it is. So I go to Temple, and I've been getting like numerous emails and stuff like that. And as of right now, as of mid-July, all of my classes, well, I'm taking 6 classes this semester. I believe 5 of them are based online. One of them, it doesn't require a virtual meeting because it's just like he'll probably just like give us our homework whenever and we'll finish it accordingly. But there's no like virtual meeting required. But the other 4 require virtual meetings and stuff like that. And yeah, I'm just waiting to see what the other one class course is gonna do. So for me, I'm not too worried. I mean, it's gonna be interesting for me considering that I'll have a lot of time on my hands. I won't have to necessarily worry about commuting too much as I would have to. I will have to figure out how to balance all that given the other responsibilities that I have. I mean, my work and my professional life, and trying to build that while also still finishing up this last semester of school. I mean, not last semester, last year of school. Trying to build that up in the process, and just a whole bunch of things. So for me, I'm not too worried. Stuff is bound to change given the circumstances and considering how selfish some people are. But it is what it is. And yeah, that's how it is for me. On the other hand, the public school system is what I'm a little worried about. Along with it being my last year of college, this is my this is my brother's last year in high school. After this year, he'll be going to college. So that in itself is interesting. Here in Philly, in the public school system for Philadelphia, what they are planning to do is have students come in twice a week. And they're going to split it up. They're basically going to, from what I understand, correct me if I'm wrong, people from Philly, they are going to have students from K to 12 come to school in 2 days, or in 2 days per week. The schools will be divided into 2 sections, Group A and Group B. Group A goes to school on Monday and Wednesday, and Group B goes to school on Tuesday and Thursday. And Friday is dedicated to deep cleaning. And the rest of it is basically virtual stuff. That's how they're doing it in Philly, as of right now. I have no idea what everyone else is doing elsewhere. And also in terms of pre-K, also in Philly, And also, along with pre-K, school for those students with special needs. Those students will be going to school 4 days a week. I'm hoping and praying that, the classes or the groups that they'll be in will be sized accordingly. And, that's another thing according to, sizes of classes. Sure, it helps that the schools will be divided into two sections, but let's just be honest. Philadelphia public school system, it's extremely huge. Let's just be completely honest about another thing. Classes are completely overfilled most times. From what I understand, it's supposed to be 25 students in a class. Hopefully we can abide by that. And, it's hopeful, but, you have to basically make sure that you're holding yourself accountable for the various, rules that you're setting. I joke about this, but we all know this, Philly people. They're gonna say, they're gonna deep clean the schools on Fridays. What exactly does deep clean mean? The public school system has always had trouble with lice. You can't tell me that during your time as a public school student in Philadelphia, they haven't passed out a lice note home after who knows how many kids have it. So that's a joke, but it's serious. And then I saw somebody else how many times have you gone to the bathroom and the soap dispenser was empty? It's just small things like that that make this whole plan a tad bit skeptical. And that just means that you have to put your money where your mouth is, So we'll see how things go. City wide, we'll see how things go. But we all know what the deal is on a federal level. In terms of that, it's just funny how the head of our Department of Education has no concern about, the public school system. She wants to basically throw all that money to the private school system. And listen, if you want to send your kid to a private school, cool, that's fine. But don't just leave us all here to, not get a decent education just because, it's a public school. I have nothing between public school, private school, all that other stuff. Just give us all a good education to get on our feet and we'll be fine. And, going off of that, Betsy is literally cool with 0.04% of the children in this country passing away from going to school. Now, the thing about it is that number, only 0.04%. Okay, that's a small that's a small percentage. But when you put that into perspective with regards to how many people live in this country, you're saying that you're comfortable with tens of thousands of children passing away. What exactly does that say about you as a human being, as a person? What does that mean? So I just hope you guys, take that into consideration when you, put your trust in an administration like this. What does that mean when they are okay with that? That shouldn't be, something that we're okay with. And, going further into that, as I said, things have not gotten better, unfortunately. Our death toll in this country is almost at 140,000 people. That is a lot of people. I think the last time I talked to you guys, it was around 125. That's a huge jump. It's too many people. And I keep joking to my family about this, but you couldn't pay me to go to Florida. You literally could not pay me to go to Florida, like at all. It's just crazy how the disregard for human life. And I always say that, like, it's just very disheartening, the lack of humanity for one another. And I mean, there are so many things going on, and I'll just talk about one thing: the restaurant business. The restaurant business is suffering completely because there's no real action, there's no real leadership. I mean, listen, I love to go out, I love to eat food. Unfortunately, I have not had the opportunity to sit down at a restaurant, inside or out. And it's just disheartening. Like, the thing about it is, okay, during the summer, people are able to, you have the option indoor or out. As it gets colder, you're not gonna have that option. You either have to eat inside or you have to take your food out. So right now during this hot time, I said two options, but we actually have three: takeout, indoor, outdoor. With the seasons changing, you only have indoor and takeout. So with this whole COVID-19 thing, technically, if you really think about it, the only safe option that is being provided to us is takeout and outdoor. With the seasons changing, they're only going to have, you know, takeout available. And with that, you got to lay off your staff. And it's just disheartening because this whole thing could have been, you know, taken care of if we just closed down when we should have. It's just very disheartening. And it's like, what are we supposed to do? Like, I think, what was it? I was watching the news yesterday, and I think in terms of New Orleans, their restaurant business is huge down there, but they are suffering tremendously. Like, they're talking about almost, I think 40% almost of their restaurants closing because of how things are going. It's just disheartening that, we aren't doing what is necessary. And we're not embracing, well, not to say embracing, but I almost feel like we need to. There's a sense of needing to just take on this new world that is coming upon us. You look at other countries across the world and they've been wearing masks. It literally may have to be a new thing. I don't know what to tell you. It literally may have, it just may have to be a new thing. Like, it literally may have to be an article of clothing on us. Like they say, no shoes, no service, no mask, no service. It literally just might have to be that way. And it's just frustrating and confusing that people think that it's an attack on your rights. First, personally, I just don't know how. I honestly just don't know how. And I understand the need to get used to something like that's totally, like, human, and like that's just how it is. Like, for me personally, me and my family are trying to figure out, like, what are the best masks for us, cloth masks, a combination of two, like ones that with filters, one without. It's just what it is. But the lack of effort to even change, to even do something to make the situation better, not just for yourself, but for someone else. What does that say about you? What does that say about our society? So, I mean, I guess I'll leave this video trying to be hopeful as possible. Because right now I think that's the only thing that we can do. And continuing to do my part, to speak out, to continue to wear masks, to practice the necessary precautions and, deeds that need to be done to make sure that I'm safe, my family's safe, everyone around me is safe, the people I love, and also not rushing things also. Because, listen, as I always say, I want to go back. Well, no, I'm sorry, I don't. I take that back. I want to be able to do the things that I used to be able to do. I mean, I would go around in the city and just walk from, what is it? Like, say, I don't know, 19th and Market all the way to Penn's Landing. Just a nice walk, you know? And I know I'll be able to do it one of these days. But I just haven't, because I've been cooped up in here, staying in quarantine, trying to, you know, make sense of this new world that we are now living in. But yeah, just trying to make sense of it all. But yeah, this has been an episode of Tea with Teyanna Stone. I will be back, just figuring out the new format. I'm just thinking about things in terms of, upload days and stuff like that. But yeah, stay healthy, stay safe, stay smart, stay cool, stay blessed. Peace.